How's it going, guys? It is K Dog's Kennel back in front of a camera for the first time in what feels like forever. Welcome in, guys. First off, before I get into the topic at hand today, this is my first video in quite some time. I want to be kind of brief about this because based on what we're going to talk about in this video, I don't want to do Dwyane Haskins any injustice talking about me on a video that's going to be tailor made for him. But for those that do not know, February the 9th, I slipped, fell, and broke my right ankle. Therefore, coming up into my office for the last 8 weeks has been pretty much next to impossible. So hence why there's been a stop in the Do You Remember video series, which I actually have a couple of those lined up for today as well. But that's kind of where I've been. That's why I haven't been in front of a camera. Excuse me. Ankle's recovering nicely. I'm on the mend and all that good stuff. I'm back to work and all that good stuff. But so that's where I've been. That's why there's been no facial me doing commentaries in front of a camera. So, tragic news coming out of the NFL this past week. This was a shocker. I actually woke up and I received a couple of messages on Facebook about, oh my God, did you hear about, that Dwyane Haskins was killed? I was never really a big Dwyane Haskins fan personally, just because I didn't know much of the kid. But Dwyane Haskins, I love my freaking multiple monitor setups. I've got notes written down over here on my other screen. So my eyes are kind of over here, I'm actually looking at the notes I took. So, but yeah, Dwyane Haskins Jr. Was killed on April 9th, 2022. After being struck by a dump truck. That alone is horrifying. But was struck by a dump truck while attempting to cross I-595 near Davie, Florida, which I think Davie is by Fort Lauderdale, if my geography is correct. But he was attempting to cross the interstate on foot. I think he died around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's early morning hours. Maybe the sun may not have come up or whatnot. I heard people talking. He was wearing all black. He was wearing all black clothing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the details of it. But Haskins was in the area. He was actually in Florida training. Ben Roethlisberger, the Pittsburgh Steelers, retired this past off season, and Dwyane Haskins had a legitimate chance to be the starting quarterback. I mean, it was him and Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph is not, he's not a household name either. Dwyane Haskins really wasn't to a lot of people, but he had the ability to take the reins of the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Ben Roethlisberger retiring, and then sadly, this whole ordeal happens, and ESPN's Adam Schefter apparently shut his mouth off. Excuse me. Talking about how Dwyane Haskins was a great standout in college, which he was. He played for the Ohio State Buckeyes. I mean, that enough said. He had a great career at Ohio State, and not to say he couldn't have had a great NFL career. His NFL, he played for the Washington Commodores. He was drafted by them in 2019 in the first round with the 15th overall pick. So I mean, he had potential to be a star. He struggled in Washington because Washington has not been a good football team since the 80s, for crying out loud. So you can't really put that all on Dwyane Haskins but Schefter just kind of, made reference that he struggled in the NFL. I mean, well, hell yeah. His career in the NFL was 3 to 4 years. I mean, he hadn't had, he was with the Steelers actually in 2021. He never played. Because there was a guy named Ben Roethlisberger that played, and Ben Roethlisberger never missed games or whatnot. But the fact that Haskins died the way he died, it's horrifying. I can't imagine being in a car accident, let alone trying to cross, the road. In this case, the interstate. I'm not really exactly sure why he would try to cross the interstate on foot, But I mean, to be hit by a dump truck, this is going to sound really bad. I hope his death was instant, just in the aspect of if you get hit by a car and have to suffer and then you end up dying, that's just, but the thought of a dump truck, dump truck's not like a sports car or an SUV. Dump truck's a pretty good sized vehicle. And if it's barreling down the interstate, 55, 65, miles an hour, and it hits a human being, I mean, I don't, I can't even really, I can't fathom that. But for Adam Schefter to basically, condolences go out to the family of Dwyane Haskins, who was a great college standout, but he struggled in the NFL. Dude, you're an asshole. I mean, at this particular point, so I'm not even going to bother. I wrote down his stats. I'm not even going to bother talking about his stats because it doesn't matter what his stats were. The fact of the matter is this young man at 24 years old was killed in a horrific tragedy. Could it have been avoided? Of course it could have. But like I said, we don't know the circumstances why he was crossing the road or trying to cross the interstate on foot. He was with his teammates, trying to gear up for the upcoming NFL season. And, tragedy struck. He gets hit by a dump truck and dies. I too, my condolences go out to Dwyane Haskins. Like I said, I'm not a big, I didn't know of him. I know he was a backup to JT Barrett at Ohio State. I played 1 year there before declaring for the draft. And as I mentioned before, he was drafted by the then Washington Redskins, now the Washington Commodores. But yeah, it's a sad state of affairs to die in that manner. I mean, like I said, 24 years old, you haven't even lived yet, and then you that's how you meet your maker. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is. I actually, you know what? I took the time to write these stats down. I'm going to blitz through these really quick. Bear with me. His lone season at Ohio State, he went 13-1. Didn't write. I believe Ohio State won the Rose Bowl that year. If I could be wrong on that. If I'm wrong in the comments, please feel free to correct me on that. And then his NFL stats, he was 3-10. 2,804 yards, 12 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Like I said, he played for a team that really wasn't good. So a lot of his stats, especially like his record and whatnot, you can't really pin on him. But it is what it is. Like I said, it's sad. I think Dwyane Haskins could have possibly had a resurgence in his career in Pittsburgh, but sadly at this point now we'll never know. But there's your video on that, guys. Horrible tragedy. And then I'm going to get geared up for the next video. Going to be talking about the death of former WWE, WCW superstar Scott Hall, which really hit me hard. We'll talk more about that here in the next video. But rest in peace, Dwyane Haskins. Sad they had to go that way. I wish things could have gone better for you. Condolences to your family. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Give this video a thumbs up if you would, as it does help the channel grow. I will catch you beautiful people in the next video.